Welcome to Lane Tour University. My name is Conrad Lane. I'm going to share how to get Turo off-trip insurance. So Turo commercial insurance that will cover your vehicle if you want liability commercial insurance or full coverage Turo insurance that's commercial for when your car is not being rented or sharing with a Turo guest. Look no further. Turo has become the absolute trailblazer and one of a kind to create their own insurance product that will allow this. And what this does essentially is, this is just a huge key component. First and foremost, I've done many videos on how to obtain commercial insurance in creative fashions, but it's very hard actually. It's not easy. Easy to find personal insurance, very hard to find commercial insurance. Very easy to find personal insurance, as I mentioned, very hard to find commercial insurance. No longer, people. It is officially easy now. Super competitive rates, under $100 per month, even as low as could be as low as $59 per month per car. If you have 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars, etc. And really great way to do it. But again, for Turo insurance, you do need minimum 3 cars. But there's a workaround this, as I mentioned in another video, that if you're co-hosting other cars, and say you only have 1 car, I've met a lot of hosts like this where they're teams, right? They're co-hosting, so maybe they have 1 car, but they're hosting or co-partnered with another host. If they get their name added to that host registration, then they qualify this. They do need 3 cars to qualify for this Turo insurance product, because 3 cars typically is what's really seen by the bank institutions, and typically within taxes, it starts becoming commercial once you own more than 2 cars. But again, I digress. Follow the screen through. We're going to share how to actually get Turo commercial insurance for hosts that have 3 cars or more. And if you have less than 3 cars, you want to either get more cars, or if you're in connection with someone else who has a car, a friend, family member, you can simply add your name to their registration. If you have access to your mom's car, your dad's car, a business partner, or someone else, another car that you don't own, now you have access to 3 cars. There's a workaround for people that are really motivated to want to get this Turo insurance and build their business. Let's dive right in. Let's get into the Turo insurance. Me through. Here is the official Turo insurance, brought to you by a company named Tint, T-I-N-T. We'll share what this is. I will definitely go through the quote process with you, but I'm not going to complete the full quote process. But I just want to show you how to experience it. But I want to teach you a little bit about this wonderful product. So prior to today's date, Turo insurance and commercial insurance, for that matter, for off-trip, meaning when the car's not being rented, when it's sitting there, or things to the mechanic, etc., car wash, etc., it just was non-existent. And what this did was it made it very hard, because what happened is Turo insurance only covers you in the circumstance that your car is on a trip during the reservation period. But if your Turo guest would drop off the car, even let's say, for example, your trip in time is 10 a.m. or let's even make it crazier, 10 p.m. at night, but they decide to drop it off on the day of at 5 a.m. You're not there. Someone breaks into your car, steals it. You're not covered, people. That's just how it is. I've done many videos about this. It's terrible. Turo solved this problem temporarily, because again, as long as we have this product, now you're covered for off trip. So as long as this stays true, you're pretty much 100% covered for the most part. But again, always redefine details. But this is great. So this will give you more peace of mind, so that if this protects you in an event, really, when a Turo guest drops off your car in an abrupt manner, and you're not there at your lot, if you have a lot, or if you're not home, they drop it off down the street somewhere and take pictures and prove that they dropped it off, even though they didn't meet with you, reservation over, someone breaks in because you weren't there and they left the door open, you're not covered. So this gives you extra peace of mind, for that matter. Also, on another side, for those that really want to grow their fleet, typically speaking, most banking institutions will ask you for personal insurance, of course, but when they start seeing that you have multiple cars and you want to really grow your business, they start asking for commercial insurance. Most personal insurance policies at this point for car insurance does not cover this type of business, unfortunately, and they usually actually decline your claim. So it's really terrible. So it's hard to find commercial insurance, and if you do find, it's usually uber expensive. So what this does is, for $89 or even as low as, I believe, like $59, you're able to get a full coverage off-trip insurance policy through Turo, and it will cover you, as I mentioned, give you peace of mind if you have a Turo guest who drops off the car at a time you're not there and someone breaks in or, God forbid, steals your car. And what this does essentially is, it allows you to be qualified, increase the likelihood of you being qualified. There's people who have 740, 800, really good credit scores that still are declined and denied by a banking institution for a loan because they don't have commercial insurance, and it's so hard to get. And when they do get commercial insurance, remember, banks measure your debt to income ratio. So what happens is, like, it's no different than looking for a house. Those want to see how profitable can you be. If they see that you have a $10,000 commercial policy for one car, that's not too profitable. Like, maybe it costs $10,000 per year for this. Some commercial policies are really expensive because it's such a rarity and it's such a high liability at the same time. So it's unfair to a certain degree. So what this does is gives you a cost-effective amount where it doesn't hit your ROI, your return of investment, it doesn't hit your debt-to-income ratio that the banks measure. So now you purchase really cost-effective, cheap insurance that for your car gives you peace of mind. So if someone drops off the car, and also gives the bank peace of mind knowing that their vehicle loan will be covered. But again, really great product. You do need 3+ vehicles, and even if you have 3+ vehicles, you don't have to cover all 3. That's just what you need to qualify. So if you have 3 cars or more and you only want to use it for one car for whatever the reason is, you can do that. You don't have to cover all cars you have as long as you qualify with 3. Now, a trick around this, a Parhost tactic, is if you have 3 cars, if you only have 1 car, or hey, maybe you have 0 cars, right, and you just want to start a business, you can add your car to the Turo platform. And what you can do essentially is, say you have your mom's car, your dad's car, friend's cars, a business car, whatever the case is, you add it to the Turo platform and you're fine. What you want to do is, at that point, if you're hosting those 3 cars under your name and your name alone, you can actually go to the DMV, add your name to it if you have access to it. Now you're the registered owner. You don't have to be an actual owner, but you're a registered owner, no different than a lease or a loan. The bank owns the lease, owns the title, but you're still the registered owner. You could do that, and now you qualify for it. That's another tactic and way to get around this. But again, super easy. As I mentioned, affordable premiums. Monthly coverage starts at $89 per vehicle, and that's for full coverage. For liability is $56. Pardon me, I said 59 earlier. I meant to say 56. And you get an easy quote online real fast. Here's some of the frequently asked questions. Tint is Embedded Insurance and Insurance Infrastructure Platform. Tint Embedded Insurance Services, LLC, is a licensed property and casualty P&C and surplus lines insurance producer in states where it transacts insurance. Turo has partnered with Tint to offer insurance that custom designed for Turo hosts. Yes, does this insurance meet state minimum requirements? Yes, this insurance meets the minimum requirements for any U.S. state where coverage is available. Tint will provide you with an insurance card that will act as proof of financial responsibility for vehicle registration purposes, or if you are pulled over and involved in an accident. So this is very important. I'm in California currently. California hosts, the way it works, if you don't have insurance on your car, all insurance companies in the state of California that jurisdict in California send proof to the DMV notifying if your car is truly insured or not insured. If it's not insured, then they actually will cancel your registration and you can't drive publicly. So Turo Insurance does not cover that. They make it very clear, but this Tint does. So purchasing this will satisfy your DMV requirement per California statute if you're in California, and any other state that also has a similar statute. But pretty cool. How much does the off-trip car insurance cost? As mentioned prior, coverage starts at $89 per month and per vehicle for damage plus liability coverage, which is full coverage essentially for deductibles. So if someone steals a car, if someone hits it, etc., coverage starts at $56 per month for liability only. The final price depends on the plans that you choose and a few risk factors. All pricing will be provided before you purchase the policy. Who's allowed to drive my vehicles when they are not booked on Turo? Only Turos, your co-hosts, and employees are covered. Bam. Wonderful. Are discounts available? Yes, you're eligible for up to 10% renewal discounts if your vehicle is booked on Turo over 60% of the time, which that's fairly easy to do, especially if it's your business. Do Tesla vehicles need GPS tracker? Yes, you'll need to buy and install Bouncy Zuby Move Track GPS tracker in your Tesla vehicle. However, Tint hopes to offer an integration with Tesla in the future. So Tint, they have, if you go to the webpage, they are going over like talking with Tesla and trying to figure a way to implement their GPS with like kind of interface. That way you don't have to purchase Bouncy, Zuby, and Move Tracks. But at this point, if you have a Tesla, even though I own multiple Teslas, it comes with its own GPS, which is phenomenal. It's probably one of the best actually, but you have to follow the rules and get one of these if you have a Tesla, as it mentions. When will my car be charged? You'll be charged for the first month of coverage when you purchase the insurance. Moving forward, you'll be charged on a monthly basis. Pretty easy to understand. Can I use this insurance to cover my vehicles used on other platforms or for the private rental use? No way, Jose. This insurance only applies to vehicles listed on Turo and doesn't cover use on other platforms for private rental. So understand that well. So I do rent cars independently and on other platforms. And for those that are kind of like me as well, you want to make sure to really understand that. You can reach the Tint team by emailing the support at tint.ai or calling 909-505-2338. Tint prides itself on offering top-tier customer support and is staffed with licensed insurance professionals who have experience with car sharing programs. How many miles a month can I drive with this insurance? You'll have 300 miles per month automatically covered by insurance, and any additional miles will be subject to a surcharge. When does my coverage begin? Your coverage starts the moment you complete your purchase. After you've completed your transaction, your policy documentation will be emailed to you pretty fast, actually. Will I need GPS trackers? As I mentioned before, yes, you do. And it has to be within 60 days, so you don't need it right away, but within 60 days. If this off-trip insurance for business use only, yes, the off-trip insurance is for business use only. That means you'll be covered when you drive the vehicle for your business on Turo, like making deliveries or going to the car wash, as I mentioned earlier, gas station, a mechanic, anything that's really affiliated with your business is what's covered. Coverage for personal use isn't included. That's what your personal insurance is for. If you drive your vehicle for personal use, you'll need to get personal insurance instead. Do I need minimum number of vehicles to apply for insurance? I mentioned as well. Yes, you need to have 3. I already went over the strategy with that. What states is coverage offered in? Coverage is available in every U.S. state except for New York and Kentucky at this time, but they are working to get those taken care of. New York is one of the last states. It originally was, New York was a part of the Turo infrastructure, but it was removed for a lot of different reasons, but they actually re-added New York, which is fine. So it's just kind of behind. Kentucky and New York are in the works. Why should I trust Tint to provide off-trip car insurance? Turo has partnered with Tint to offer off-trip insurance that was created just for tour hosts. That is true, specifically tailored only for tour hosts, actually. Tint's policies are underwritten by an insurance company that specializes in auto and fleet coverage. Lastly, Tint was founded by 2 former Turo employees who, along with Tint's customer support representatives, understand car sharing inside and out. That's true. And get a quote. Select the purple beautiful get a quote button. And voila, people, that's about it. Please enter the first name, last name, and email address associated with your Turo account if you're interested in getting a quote for off-trip insurance. And that's about it. Pretty easy. And once you do that, you put your first name, last name, and email. And that's it. That's really about it. Anyways, like, subscribe, share. Welcome to Lane University or Lane Turo University. If you want to learn more, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments. If you feel this was of any value, again, subscribe, leave some comments. Ciao.